There's a moment in every crypto holder's journey when paranoia tastes almost like freedom. But behind each locked door, each hidden safe, lies a silent terror. No one tells you that being your own bank means you're always just one mistake, one breath, one glance away from losing everything you thought you'd protected. Imagine the lights burn cold. A man in the United Kingdom, his fortune measured in millions, defeated by nothing more sinister than a watching eye, a camera, an ordinary watcher. Not a hacker from a distant country, someone close, someone patient. If that vision stings you, if it makes your pulse falter for just a moment, let me welcome you to Crypto 101 Central. So let's step into the eye of the storm. Tonight, this is not about certainty. It's about reading the signs, tracing the logic of what the market is showing. The bear flag appears to be breaking. Not rumor, not speculation, but a pattern that many traders are watching closely. Positioning, in moments like this, often becomes mixed. Some hedge long-term conviction, others look for short-term downside. These are not just trades, they're reactions to uncertainty, attempts to move with the market rather than against it. In these moments, patterns are more than lines. Daily structure reflects something we've seen before. In previous cycles, similar breakdowns were followed by deeper pullbacks, even when sentiment remained optimistic. The market doesn't respond to hope. It responds to structure. Today, we see a familiar setup again. Prices hover in uncertain territory as we move into a new week, shaped by liquidity and macro pressure. Each move carries weight. The short-term outlook leans cautious. Many are watching for potential retests of resistance before any continuation lower. Where is the bottom? No one can define it with certainty. There are only zones, areas where price has historically reacted, where volatility may slow and decisions begin to form. It could happen higher or lower. The broader cycle still echoes familiar patterns, even if each phase feels unique in the moment. The picture becomes clearer when simplified. Long-term conviction may remain, but short-term pressure is present. Accumulation appears lighter, while selling pressure is more visible in the near term. In many cycles, this phase tends to precede stronger opportunities later in the year, often when sentiment is weakest. This is the rhythm. The realized price often acts as a magnet during downturns, pulling price back toward equilibrium before a new phase begins. Historically, these resets happen quietly, without excitement, without confirmation. The market right now feels heavy with uncertainty. And yet, that same uncertainty has often been the foundation for future recovery. But beyond the immediate, something larger is unfolding. Major institutions continue to explore and expand their involvement. Large asset managers, managing vast amounts of capital, are gradually increasing access to Bitcoin through new financial products. Lower fees, broader accessibility, and integration into traditional portfolios are all part of this shift. Cost and accessibility matter. Even small allocations from large pools of capital can translate into significant flows over time. Retirement funds and long-term portfolios are slowly opening the door to crypto exposure, step by step. Beneath the surface, the structure is evolving. At the same time, the macro environment remains complex. Traditional markets show signs of weakness. Energy prices remain elevated. Inflation pressures persist. Interest rates continue to influence risk appetite. All of this creates short-term pressure on risk assets. But over longer timeframes, these same conditions can strengthen the case for alternative systems. That transition is gradual, almost invisible at first. Then, over time, it becomes obvious. More institutions participate, more capital enters. Resistance softens, not suddenly, but progressively. So caution remains in the short term. The near horizon may still be uncertain. But zooming out, the broader structure suggests ongoing evolution rather than collapse. Pause for a moment. If you've followed this far, you already understand. This is not just about price. It's about positioning, perspective, and timing. And now the question returns to you. Where do you stand in this cycle? Bullish? Bearish? Waiting? Because Bitcoin is not just an asset. It moves through phases: fear, doubt, belief, expansion. And right now, we are somewhere in between. The cycle continues. The structure holds. The uncertainty remains. And often, it's in these quieter, uncomfortable phases that the next move begins. Stay patient. Stay aware. Because in markets like this, it's not the obvious moments that define outcomes. It's the subtle ones.